Well, in just a matter of days, Portland Mayor Ted Wheeler is handing the keys over to the mayor's office to Mayor-elect Keith Wilson.
On this Mayor Monday, our Travis Tyke sat down with Wheeler to talk about his time in office and Portland's future.
Mayor Wheeler, appreciate your time this morning. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
Okay, so as you sit here now, only a short time away from the end of your time as mayor, what are you feeling now as the chapter is coming to a close here?
Well, on one hand, I'm really grateful that I had this opportunity, and I'm appreciative of the voters for putting their trust in me for so many years, not just the 8 years as mayor, but 6 as state treasurer, 4 as the Multnomah County chair. But I'm honestly also energized about turning the page and doing something a little bit different with the next chapter of my life.
Yeah, I mean, you've had a long career in public office. What's it like to think about the next step? Are you going to ever run for a public office again, or are you just going to take your time and take a breath for now?
You know, for right now, I just want to step back a little bit. I've been working really hard, evenings, weekends, 365 days a year for 8 years.
Yeah.
And so I'm a little bit burned out. I'd like to take a little time off for my family and loved ones. I'll still be engaged in the community, but I'm really not sure at this point in what capacity.
Yeah, makes sense. Okay, well, talking about where the state of Portland is now, you know, of course, we have Mayor-elect Keith Wilson here coming in. Portland's still facing its challenges. You know, we talk about the office spaces in downtown Portland and the homelessness situation. What are you looking for in this next chapter in Portland? What is the page that needs to be turned here by Mayor-elect Keith Wilson to push Portland forward in the direction that you think is needed?
Look, the city of Portland is always going to face challenges. If my tenure has proven anything, that's what it has proven. You cannot anticipate the future. Nobody saw COVID. Nobody saw a global shutdown. Nobody saw meth. Nobody saw fentanyl. Nobody saw the resulting explosion in homelessness or any of the issues related to livability. And certainly nobody saw that we were also going to have to completely reform our government. Keith will have his own challenges along with the new city council. What I hope they do is take stock of where we have made progress. Crime is way down. We now have 800 full-service shelter beds that we did not have before that have put 500 people who are chronically homeless into permanent housing. We set up entirely new programs and structures and partnerships to address livability, and our economy is bouncing back in a very significant way. People don't always hear this, but new business starts were up 16% last year. Foot traffic is way up. Hotel occupancy is nearing 90%. On weekends, PDX just had one of the best years they've ever had since pre-COVID. Things are looking up. So Portlanders, I hope, can take stock of the successes while continuing to work on the challenges we know are coming down the road in the future.
What is, and I hate to try to say a timeline, but, you know, Portlanders for a while have, you know, said, okay, the next step and the next step, and maybe there's a 4-year plan and a 5-year plan. You know, what is the timeline, I guess, in theory, that you would be looking at to have that bustling downtown culture that is trending that direction? But when do you think we're going to see that come full circle?
It's already here. Anybody who's been in downtown Portland, particularly on a weekend, has seen that there are a lot of people here. Businesses are thriving. Restaurants and bars and retail establishments are getting a lot of foot traffic. It's not so much true during the week. And so longer term, what we need is more housing in our central city core. Other cities like Boston were able to bounce back faster because they have lots of people living right in their central city core. So the restaurants, the bars, the retail establishments, small commercial enterprises had the benefit of that population being there. We need to restructure in the same way. More housing in the central city core would be one great idea going forward.
And then looking at city council, you know, talking about Mayor-elect Keith Wilson, of course, the new form of government, you alluded to that as well. What has your process been in, I guess, handing the keys over to this new form of government, not just with Mayor-elect Wilson, but, you know, working with city councilors at all? What does this transition look like, and what's your role been in that?
A couple of big picture points. First of all, back in July, I took all of the bureaus back and I put them under the auspices of a city administrator, Mike Jordan. So we already have the executive branch up and running. The second thing that was important to me was that we have an intentional, thoughtful, and comprehensive onboarding for the mayor-elect and the city councilors-elect. And so they're actually meeting collaboratively now with city leaders, with bureau directors, with city employees to understand what programs and initiatives are in place, what partnerships are the most important, and what kind of things are we already doing to address some of the issues they're concerned about, to give them a better idea of how they can build upon that momentum. The goal here is to make sure that when we throw the keys across the table on January 1st, they're ready to hit the ground running, and I believe they are.
So, I mean, will there be any of those learning curves, bumps in the road? Just as, I mean, it's so new.
Yeah.
It's such a new system. Fair to expect those kinds of moments along the way?
Absolutely. Look, there is no way you can fully prepare for the types of jobs that they will be taking on January 1st. I just really hope the public gives the mayor-elect and the city council the space they need, the support they need, and the latitude to make some mistakes, because they will make mistakes. But ultimately, I hope Portlanders understand, even if you agree with their politics or not, they ran because they want to see our community heal and get better and thrive in the years ahead. I'll be there to support them, and I hope the public joins me.
All in all, do you like the new form of government? Do you like this switch?
I do. I think the idea of having elected commissioners run the day-to-day operations of very large, very complex bureaus made no sense at all. And so having them focus on legislation, having them focus on representing their neighborhoods, that makes a lot more sense to me.
Well, as you sit here now, at the end of your time as the mayor of the Rose City, what are you most proud of when you look back and reflect at your time in the office?
The results. Auto theft down 50%, vandalism down 40%, gun violence down over 30%. 500 people moved from the streets into shelter just in the last year and a half through our new task sites and our reconfigured safe rest villages. The new programs we've brought forward, like Portland Solutions, to address litter and graffiti and do street lighting and murals and activations. And I'm proud of the fact we've made real headway on big projects. I believe Portland will be awarded an MLB franchise. We will have a James Beard Market in the very near future. The Keller Auditorium will be rebuilt. And some of these big picture ideas, the master plan at OMSI or the work on the Broadway corridor, they're already starting to take shape in really significant ways. That'll help guide the city's growth and prosperity for decades to come.
Mayor Wheeler, appreciate the time.
Thank you.
To stay up to date on what's happening in cities across our area, Portland and beyond, check out our previous Mayor Monday segments right now on KOIN.com. Just click on the AM Extra tab.
Well, it is 7:41.